Real Zaragoza have signed Jermaine Pennant after he was released by Liverpool following their takeover by Swiss businessman Marcus Labour. No, it's true. Southampton have parted company with manager Mark Watt.
No.
It is true. And Motherwell avoided a shock defeat to Llanelli in the Europa League. They trailed 1-0 after the first leg, but they won the second leg 3-0 to go to
No.
qualifying round. Really, Sir Alan? They did. They're through.
That's not Sir Alan.
Is it not?
No, it's Scolari.
No. Sir Alan saying that.
Yeah, are you Sir Alan?
No.
Okay.
It's going to be staying mainly dry and bright this morning.
Hang on a second. Stop.
Sorry.
If we're going to do this properly, it's the weekend. Everybody needs to know. Ladies and gentlemen, Dominic Byrne is about to read the weather. Dom's about to read the weather.
Good harmonies.
Thanks.
The weather will be staying mainly
Do you
dry.
want weather music?
Yes.
What kind of weather music do you want?
What have you got? Here's the weather.
Oh, that's Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Can't we have Nelson Mandela?
Let's have Nelson Mandela weather.
Do you want to do that?
It's a hard one to summarise in one word, but I'll have a go.
We'll do Here's the Weather with Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, you ready? Here's the weather with Nelson Mandela. Here's the weather. Here's the weather with Nelson Mandela.
Sponsored by Chewits.
Here's the weather with Nelson Mandela. Here's the weather with Nelson Mandela.
Hello.
After all that, he couldn't find the microphone.
Cloud. Rain. Sun. Wind. Bye.
That was
The weather with Nelson Mandela. That was the weather with Nelson Mandela.
brought to you by Secrets. Shh.
That was the weather with Nelson Mandela. That was the weather with Nelson Mandela.
So the weather is what?
It's kind of a mixed bag, as Nelson was saying. Cloudy, a bit wet later on, but there will be some sunshine.
Did you say rain?
Rain!
That was Nelson Mandela.
That was Nelson Mandela saying
Oh,
rain.
so I'm sorry.
Right, David Guetta, Kanye West coming up. Let's go.
You hear us on the radio and we sound really great, even though we're all tired cause we stay up too late. Now you can watch us too. You can watch us live and see who has the biggest bags underneath their eyes.
It's 7:37. David Guetta plays now, so turn it up.
The Chris Moyles Show. Listen on the radio and watch us on the internet. International Radio 1.
Kanye, I'm loving that. I'm way too much this morning. I love a bit of Kanye West, Dave. You know me and Kanye. Hang on a second, I'm got nobody's microphone.
You know it.
Hang on a second. Let's spin it back. You want a bit more Kanye? All right. He played Wireless last weekend, didn't he?
Did he?
No, Doddy. No, yeah, see. It's going to be home, baby. It's going to be home at 7:46. Good morning. It's Friday. This is BBC Radio 1, home of the Chris Moyles Show and Nana Windows, remixed by Jaguar Skills. Played this earlier. It's mental. In the window, looking out the window. Oh, it's the nana window. All she does is wave every day. Wave to the people, say every day. Nana window, looking out the window. Big window for the nana window. Nana window, everybody sing. Nana window, Jaguar Skills. Very nice. We've got a brand new podcast which you can download as of the later on this morning. The new podcast, The Best Bits of the Week, with some additional amazing quality comedy items, Dave.
Such as what?
Well, such as this.
You want a coffee?
Yeah.
I would love a coffee.
You want a coffee?
I find it offensive when you call us boys.
I want a coffee. I want a coffee.
Wrong.
I want a coffee.
I've no idea
Did
why
that
we
make
started
it on?
Unbelievably, yes.
The Chris Moyles Show.
I want a coffee.
International Radio.
Crazy podcast. Anyway, download it later on today. It's free.
It's a good one.
Yes. All right, so it's the German Grand Prix this weekend. Let's speak to the BBC's man in the Grand Prix, Mr. Jake Humphrey.
Guten Morgen. How's it
Guten
going?
Morgen.
Wow, I didn't realise you were fluent in the German.
That is about as fluent as I get. Actually, we've got a girl who works on our production called Catherine Morgan, and everybody walks around in the morning, obviously in Germany, saying Morgan, Morgan, and every time she sort of turns around thinking they're calling her name. So she's having a very confusing weekend so far.
Well, God love her.
Oh dear.
How are you, Jake?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Very well indeed. It's a little bit cloudy here. We just had a nice cup of tea. It's almost like being at home.
You have got a wicked job.
It's not bad, is it?
You really, really do have just a wicked job.
Jammiest job in sport, I think.
I think I'd agree with you. I mean, it's unbelievable. I was getting paid to do it.
Were you a Grand Prix fan before you got the gig? Honestly.
Yeah, no, I was. I mean, I was always a fan. I remember Steve Ryder taking me out for dinner just after I'd been offered the job, and he said, listen, whatever you know, times it by 1,000,000, because you need to know so much to do this job. So I've kind of obviously added to my knowledge, and being at the races, you pick up loads of information really quickly. But I was always a fan, you know, sitting on my granddad's knee watching the racing back in the day.
But has your knowledge, though, just massively improved since you got the gig?
Yeah, I mean, because the problem is when you first arrive, you start having these conversations with people and you're standing there in a big group and you're just going, yeah, I agree, yeah, oh, absolutely, and you've got no idea what they're talking about. And then a couple of races in, you can kind of start joining in the conversation, and sort of we're halfway through the season now, and I can almost hold my own in a decent conversation, I think, with David Coulthard and Eddie Jordan.
Wow. What an amazing life.
The hardest bit, Jake, must be just working out where you are in the world, because you're constantly on tour.
I know. I remember sort of watching these boy bands doing interviews, and it was always ridiculous. They'd say, oh, sorry, what country are we in? Where are we now? And I actually said to my wife a few days ago, where am I going this weekend? What's going on? So, yeah, I mean, you are constantly sort of on the move, and it is amazing how little time you have at home, actually, between the races. There is literally just enough time to write a blog, do a bit of Twitter,
Yes.
and you're back out.
But you've probably had a few weeks, though, since Silverstone.
3 weeks, isn't it?
Since we had a man hug in the paddock. That was nice.
We did have a man.
Oh, did you? You
My
celebrate?
wife was very jealous of that.
I think I got a picture of me and Jake, actually.
Do we have a bit of bromance going on
Yeah.
here?
My wife was saying, why didn't I get a cuddle off Chris Moyles? Why is that?
You know, and actually, she would have been easier to cuddle because we're more the same height.
Yeah.
You sort of had your hands wrapped around my waist, didn't you?
Well,
That must have looked wrong on a lot of levels.
Is
Did
that
you
on
make friends with his belly button?
Whoa, please.
Is that on the picture?
No, it's just a hug on the. It's just me and him.
Couple of guys hanging out at an F1 race.
That's all we're doing.
It's a
Very
boy thing.
metrosexual Formula 1, isn't it?
I've got it here. Do you know what? It's just a big cheesy shot of our faces.
Let's have a
I'm going
look.
to stick it on the cameras for everyone to see. There you go.
Or is this for people that watch the show on the internet?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Oh, that's nice.
We're multi-platform now, Jake.
Very good.
There's Jake
That's really
there.
cute. You look like best buddies.
I thought just us having the red button was exciting. You actually can watch a radio show on the television.
Yes, sir. Do you know what? And that's only the second time that me and Jake had met.
Really?
Yeah.
The first time was in Germany, ironically, wasn't it?
It was. It was indeed when he was working on Sports Round.
Oh, no, that was a dream job. The F1's all right. Sports Round was cracking.
Okay, so let's talk about the German Grand Prix this weekend, Mr. Jake Humphreys. So today and tomorrow, practices, obviously.
Yes, if people are interested in practice, it's a good idea actually just to sort of watch and see the cars going around the track, and there's an awful lot of talking to be done. And David Croft and Anthony Davidson, Anthony used to race in Formula 1. They basically have ages to just sit and chat about racing. So if you haven't watched much Formula 1 before, it's actually quite a good time to just sit there and watch a bit of what's going on, pick up some knowledge, and that's on the red button. I think about 5 to 9 this morning people can do that. If you haven't got a day at work, press the red button and do that. So we have qualifying, and then qualifying is on Saturday, that's 12:10, and the race on Sunday, 12:10 as well. So you cannot get away from Formula 1 on the BBC at the moment.
Good, isn't he?
12:10 on the BBC.
Got it all there.
He's
chain.
You're a good find for the BBC.
Hey, we can
Jake.
play the chain in here. Listen to this. This is really clever. Is it going to appear?
What? What?
Oh, do you know what? Jason Swales, the main man, he said, I can play the chain at the drop of a hat. And he pressed, we've got a thing called Spot On in here. I think you probably have that as well. The chain is not appearing.
What's the chain?
Have you ever listened to that track all the way through properly?
It's weird, isn't it? It's a really weird song.
You listen to that track and you go, this ain't the right one, this ain't... And it only towards the end does that Grand Prix bit with the guitar come in.
Just appears.
It's a very weird, bizarre Fleetwood Mac track.
Yeah.
This bit.